Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, depending on what time you're watching this next episode from me, Avomance, in my seed tour series. Last week, we were landed in this seed here. It was a mushroom island, but it wasn't a mushroom island because over in the back there, you can see it was a peninsula. This one was a cracker, and I think it's well worth you going and have a look if you haven't seen it yet. It was provided by Not So Rubbish Dave, and it was a good one. Today, we're doing something that I suspect could be very, very different. We're going to create this world together. The seed is there in the world name. Going through and popping it in the seed as well. Otherwise, I'll just get a random. That's perfect. Everything else is right. Let's create this world. I'm very interested to see where we land because I'm told that where we land doesn't look that exciting. But when you have a bit of a mooch around, it gets a lot better. Let's see what happens. And yet again, strange face before I turn into a normal face. Actually, I've got to be honest with you. That's a really nice place to start. Look at that. Can you imagine? Put some shaders on the back of that. Let me turn this around. Hang on. Put some shaders on there. That is gorgeous. I love that. Now, seeds aren't all about what you find in terms of rare biomes and spawners, although they're all really, really important. What's also important, depending on the way you play, and I definitely play like this, is the aesthetic. What could you do with this? We have got a gorgeous desert there with the edges of a plains and a mountain there. It's still a really long, thin plains. Look at that, blimey. But this is like an oasis in there. That's beautiful. I already love it. That is perfect. But that's not what we're here for. We're here to have a scout around and see what else we can find. So I'm just going to raise and we're going to see what we can see. So here, I'm moving across just a short way. We've got a ravine under the sand there. That's quite a nice one, isn't it? Look at that with all that suspended sand. Wow, that's really cool. So there's a great ravine literally just at the spawn. Be careful where you walk because if you update those sand blocks, they're going to fall and kill you a lot. But we've got a desert temple just literally over there as well. Just a hop, skip and a jump from that spawn area, which is fantastic. So you can really start very quickly getting yourself some decent treasures. With some entrance to some caves there too. Love some of these structures. These could be done all sorts with. Some really unusual structures in the mountains as well. So I'm just going to pop around the back here. We've got water. So we've got a tiger biome just here. We've got plenty of spruce and a village. Look, so we've got a village that you can see the spawn just over there. Look, hello spawn. It is here. The village is very, very close. So you'd be able to transport villagers if you wanted to set up from spawn or just transfer yourself over to the desert. That would be good. Then you wouldn't have to worry too much about weather. We've got, is this another village? And a second village almost on top of the first village. Sweet, that's really cool. Right next to this tiger biome where you're going to get as much wood as you can possibly shake a stick at. And you can obviously do things like create some sweet berry farms. There'll be foxes spawning in this tiger biome. I have absolutely no doubt. Just coming across the mountains from that tiger biome there, and we've got another really beautiful place that we could do something. We're surrounded by the mountains, but this kind of little open kind of quarry-esque sort of area would just suit so beautifully for some kind of mountain base. And look at the perfect roundness of this cave here. It's actually round. It's like someone's drilled into the side of the mountain. That's brilliant. I love that formation a lot as well. So coming across these mountains a little bit further, look, we've got yet another really beautiful place that we could start to build with an overhang there that could become extremely interesting. We're coming back over and you can see just behind us now we've got another village. I mean, spawn is literally just over there. Look, we've got another village here, and so that's 3 villages within a hop, skip and a jump with some dark oak. So dark oak is great. We can get mushroom, we can get plenty of dark oak wood, and altogether we're going to end up with plenty of... and we've got a swamp. We've got such a diversity of biomes here. This is absolutely crazy. This is a big old swamp. So again, we're probably about, I would say, 500 blocks from spawn. It's a bit of a guess, but it's probably not much more than that anyway. And we've got a decent sized swamp here where we could kind of flatten this area out quite easily and create some kind of slime farm. You're joking. Is that another one? We've got another village, yet another village. So we are so overwhelmed with villages on this one. It's like village-tastic. Coming away from that village now, we're flying over a birch forest now. So we've got pretty much most kinds of wood. There was savanna just over by spawn as well. So I think we've only got jungle wood that we've not actually catered for, and we've only been here for 5 minutes. That's absolutely brilliant. A big plains biome just here. We're about 600 away from spawn probably. We'll double back towards it now with lots of meandering rivers. You could really do some beautiful building here. Just following the edge of the birch forest back now, and we reach the desert just by the spawn area, which you can see on the left, on the right hand side there. So I'm just going to go left and pop out across the desert, see if there's anything extra interesting that we can see over here. I'm a big fan, as you probably know if you've been watching these seed tours, of having deserts really close by. There's a few reasons why. It's another village. It's yet another. This is a big village as well. Look at that big old village. That's a sprawling, massive village. So is that 5 villages now? 5 villages. Goodness me. I do love a good desert because I use a lot of glass. And as a result of using a lot of glass, you need a lot of desert because of the sand. We've got another quite nice looking ravine there that we could do some exploring on. It's a split ravine that goes up and under. Coming into that savanna biome, and it's another village. 6 villages. 6 villages, and we are, I mean, you can't quite see because of my render distance, but literally if I had another maybe 5 or 6 chunks worth of render distance, you'd be able to see spawn. We've got 6 villages within 400 or 500 blocks of spawn. It's absolutely crazy. But the desert continues on across this way. You're not going to be short of a little bit of sand. So I was traveling for about 10 more seconds. You can just about see the savanna biome. I've gone past another desert temple there on the left, and we've got ourselves a pillager outpost and another desert temple. This has got some right old richness around here. So you could raid the pillager outpost, nick their treasures, maybe do a nice conversion on that for building, go and raid that desert temple there as well. You are farming. To the right of the desert, we've got the ocean. So the ocean is about 600 blocks away from where you spawn in. You've got all of that richness of biome diversity, some gorgeous places to build. You've got 6 villages. You've got the pillager outpost. You've got a high number of desert temples. And you've also got a tiny inland sea. Look at that. It's a tiny little inland sea. I don't know whether I'm saying it's an inland sea. If I go far enough this way, does it become a not inland sea? Maybe it does, but I think it's entirely surrounded by land, this one, by the look of it. Yes, it is. Look at that. That's fantastic. It's an inland sea. That's beautiful. Coming on to another plains biome on the other side. We're kind of skirting around right a little bit now. We're perhaps 800 blocks from spawn, something along those lines, and we can continue along this plains biome to see whether or not the other side of this savanna gives us anything more interesting, such as, of course, another village. 7 villages. 7, count 'em people, 7. I have downed a night vision potion, and we are back at the spawn area. You can see this gorgeous lakeside thing, and I'm going to go under the ground. If you don't want to know what's under the ground because you want to investigate it yourself and play this seed, do turn off now. Spoilers in 3, 2, 1, down. Oh, I was higher than I thought I was. Right, so under the ground. Oh, look at that ravine. That's amazing. It's ravine after ravine. I do love a good ravine. Look at that. We've got ravine. That's huge. And another one. And another one. This is like ravine heaven. Absolutely incredible. Look at the size of this fella. That's big. And look, so we're going into... Wow. Massive ravines. If you love ravines, you are going to love this place. That is absolutely superb. And of course, where you find ravines, you very often find these fellas. We've got ourselves a mine shaft. It is what looks like a relatively small but fairly dense mine shaft. It's got the cave spider spawner right there. Obviously, you would be able to recognise that from a distance with all of the spider webs. But That's actually quite a nice compactor. It's dense, but it's very compact, so you could explore. Oh, there's another one. There's another spider spawner there as well. You could explore that fairly easily. It's got a big open area there. Perfect. That's a really, really nice little mine shaft there. It's not huge, but brilliant for exploration. I'm just going to go a little bit further. Oh, what's that over here? I think we have got ourselves another mine shaft. Just, again, a couple of 100 blocks, not even, from where we were. So a second mine shaft right here. Exposed diamonds. We've got plenty of minecart with chests here. This one's a little bit bigger and more sprawling. We've got, again, another spider spawner. We've got plenty of spawners here for spider farms. Exposed diamonds even more. This is nice. I like it a lot. And just in case you are allergic to cave spiders, there is a normal spider spawner just across from the mine shaft just here. You can see there's the mine shaft. This is a normal spider spawner. You could use perhaps my spider spawner farm that I released fairly recently. Link will be in the description below to be able to turn that into a string and spider eye farm. And not far up the road, we've also got a little zombie spawner there. Be careful, it is absolutely over the top of a big old lava lake, so you don't want to be digging down too far there. You are going to burn your feet, but that's there to play with as well. And as we do in all of our seed tours, we are going to pop ourselves through to the Nether just to see what it's like through there too. Okay, so we are through into the Nether. Where have we spawned? Right, so we spawned in, again, it's not too open. You have a small amount of cover should you end up getting ghasted. Do be aware there is a big old droppy lava bit there though. Fortunately, because of the holes, it does float away from your Nether portal, but big old droppy lava thing there. Do be cautious. Let's have just a quick look around here. We've got lots, and I do mean lots of glowstone mining opportunity, as well as fairly significant abilities to get quartz very, very quickly. You can see there a ghast did spawn in quite close to the portal, so do be cautious. What I do want to know, as you always would, is how close is the fortress. So I'm going to do a /locate fortress, and it's 195 blocks away. So let's call it 200 blocks away, which isn't awful, but I am going to see where it is. So -160, -80 is where it is, and we are currently at -236. So we need -Z and -X. So the fortress is in that direction there. Now, I was going to teleport to it, but I think I might actually, or put myself in spectator mode. I might actually go this way, straight through the rocks in spectator mode, and see how long it takes me to find this fortress. It might be, it's a bit of a roll, this one, isn't it? You can see it's not the easiest of trips. You've got to do a little bit of mining. I'm going to go round as if I'm not in spectator a little bit here, because there's a lovely big open space here. You might be able to see something from a little bit more of distance. Oh, you do have an absolute lake full of soul sand down here though. That is quite nice. So I've just come through the rock, and you can see that we've got our fortress right here. That's quite a nice bit right there because it is over lava. These bits are also look like they're over lava, but they're over lava in a, yeah, but they're in the rock over lava, aren't they? Unfortunately, because I'm in spectator, I'm actually inside the rock, so you can't see it. But we've got blaze spawner there. If I come out, that's quite encapsulated. In fact, the whole thing is relatively embedded in the rock, which makes for a bit of a shame, to be honest, in terms of being able to do some kind of farm with it, but does make it quite interesting. Oh, I've come inside it. Does make it quite interesting when you're exploring it, because everything is internal. Have we got any of those interesting rooms that everybody loves? Yes, we do. The room is right here. Plenty of nether wart for you to be able to get what you need. But again, it's not entirely covered up. You could access it from the outside, but that one's a little bit hidden. It's a big old fortress though. I mean, if you look inside here, the fortress sprawls a long way. It's a big one, but it's a lot harder to get to. I told you it was a very different seed. So this one has got a massive biome mix, but 7 villages within 800 blocks of where I am standing right now, which is where you spawn in. 7 villages. That's absolutely insane. But what I really like about this particular seed is the potential for building something that is aesthetically beautiful. This is maybe not the absolute best kind of survival Minecraft player who wants to do guardian farms and all that kind of stuff, but oh my goodness, for someone that wants to build something that looks beautiful and incredible, and perhaps when you turn on the shaders makes your socks fall off literally onto the floor, this fella is perfect. So I officially declare that seed 8 has been provided by Charles J. Charles J, thank you. This is a superb seed. I really love this seed. I love it particularly for exactly where you spawn in. This area is beautiful, and I have got a number of ideas that I could put into this, just this area alone, without even venturing more than 100 blocks away. I could do something pretty blooming special here. So thank you, Charles. That is a superb seed. If you have got a seed that you think is either good for building or good for speed running or good for anything, frankly, what you think is good is your choice. Let me know by sending it to avomanceminecraft@gmail.com. That is avomanceminecraft@gmail.com. Write me down the seed number. I can only use Java seeds, I'm afraid. I don't have Bedrock. But I'd be really interested to see what you think is worthwhile having a look. Make sure you give me a description of that seed so as I know exactly why it is so good. And maybe it will just help me to have a little bit of an explore around as well. If you have enjoyed this video, please do remember to slap that like button. It'd be great to know you're enjoying them, and I will keep on making them. And also, if you've not done it already, please do hit that subscribe button. It'd be great to see you in my sub club, and I look forward to seeing you in another video. You take it easy now. Bye.